Today I thought I would film a Q&A life update style video to kick off 2024, my first filming session of 2024. It's already mid-January, don't know how that happened, but feeling the winter cozy vibes today and wanted to catch up with you all really. So please do interact in the comments down below on this video. Thank you to everyone who sent in questions for the Q&A over on Instagram. I posted a story earlier this week with a question box as I normally do for these sorts of videos, so please do follow my Instagram if you want to get involved next time. I've grabbed myself a tea. It's going to be a very chilled chat. What do you guys want to know? Let's kick off with career goal this year, because that to me is very obvious in my head, and it is qualify as a fellow of the Institute and Faculty of Actuaries. That is what I've been working towards these last 3.5 years, sitting exams, working in a consulting job in the insurance industry. I have 2 more exams to go, so I'm so close. I'm going to sit both of those exams this coming April, so I'm going to be putting in a really big push at the start of the year. Qualifying as a fellow would mean I get promoted, I would get quite a big pay rise, I would get to attend more conferences, and in general it would be a continuation of the work I've been doing up until this point as a student actuary, but you have that qualification status to back you up, and you earn that respect of other actuaries who have also sat the hard exams. And if I don't want to, I'll never have to study ever again, which is a very weird thought. So qualifying this year could mean my life looks very different in 1 year's time. And just while we're talking about studying and qualification, I have just put in my application this week to be an associate of the Institute and Faculty of Actuaries, which is basically a sort of checkpoint qualification which you can get after passing all of the core exams. I've submitted my PPD, my personal and professional development records, to be reviewed, so hopefully I'm going to hear back on that application in the next month or so, and then I'll be able to put AIA after my name. Someone asked, do you ever get tired of the Cambridge-London commute? Yes, especially in winter. I think this is the worst time of year for commuting. It was pouring with rain for probably the last 2 times I've been cycling home from the station. It's dark and there's headlights blinding me everywhere. My glasses just fill up with rainwater so I can't even see where I'm going. My hair is frizzing out, I'm shivering, and I'm like, this is really just the pits, isn't it? If I could be somewhere else right now, I would be. But I suppose I would have that cycling commute whether I was working in Cambridge or in London, and really the long part of the commute is the train journey. I would enjoy my commute more if I had friends on the train, but I don't. I just sit there in silence, sometimes listening to a podcast, sometimes listening to some music, and that's what the majority of people do on those trains as well, because it's the classic commuter trains. But I can't complain too much. It's high-speed transport, it gets me in and out of London. I don't have to get a tube because I really don't like the underground in London. I've had a lot of questions about dating. Are you dating anyone? How's dating going at the moment? Are the dates you go on with one particular person or different people most times? I would say I am in a bit of a dating slump right now. I'm just fed up. I feel like I've been putting in so much effort in the last 1.5 years. Prior to that, hadn't really put in much effort, didn't get out much, wasn't using the apps, ran away from anyone I was remotely attracted to. But then 1.5 years ago, I said, no, I do want to find a partner. I do want to prioritize finding that connection with someone. And so I'm going to set aside time each week to message people, to organize dates and get to know new people and be really open-minded about it. And sometimes they progress to 2nd dates, to 3rd dates, to 4th dates. I had a really good run last summer where I went on 10 dates with one guy. 10 dates! Madness. And then they dumped me, that was great. And I guess I'm just starting to lose faith that I'm gonna find someone. I reckon I dated at least 15 guys in the last year, and that includes a couple months of only seeing one guy who was actually really nice, by the way. Couldn't fault them, but also I think they were right to end it because I haven't really missed them since things cut off with them at the end of last summer. I think it's just for me the fact that I've recently turned 25, and in my head I'd always pictured that I'd find someone by that age, or at least have had at least one serious relationship by the time I was 25. And since filming, I have obviously gone away and made some page-wide dating statistics charts, so enjoy. Let me know if you can see where I'm going wrong. Oh, actually, one funny story is I went on a date with someone who was on a reality TV show, and I was so excited. I had watched them on said reality TV show and they came up on my Hinge. I sent them a message not expecting a response at all, and then they started voice noting me. So I spoke to them a little bit, actually met them, had to try and tone down the enthusiasm and the starstruckness, got all the behind the scenes secrets, and I was very excited about that for a good while afterwards. People have asked about my next career steps after qualifying. I'm still very undecided on the long-term direction of my career. At the moment, my mind is very much just set on the goal of qualifying and not thinking too much past that. I know I want to work abroad at some point once I qualify. I suppose it will need to be before I settle down and before I have a family, but that all feels quite far away as well, so there's time. Are you planning any trips or travels in the nearest future? So this year, I'm probably gonna go on holiday with some university friends. I think the plan is to get a villa in Portugal in the summer. And then I've actually got a call with some of them this evening to discuss a possible city break in March. But I'm a little bit on the fence as to whether I should go to that just because my exams are in April and I don't want to go on holiday at the expense of those exams. I get this question pretty much every Q&A I do, and it's how are you able to always stay positive all the time? So I guess I must come across as quite a positive person, and it's not something I'm really conscious of. Like, I do have good days, I do have bad days like everyone. I think what has changed for me in recent years is just taking everything a little bit less seriously. Like when I have an awkward social encounter, or when I feel like I said the wrong thing in a work meeting, or when I had a really crap first date. I try to just laugh at the unfortunate event rather than deep it too much, which I know is a really vague answer. Do you still cox? I did quit coxing around a year ago now. I don't have any regrets. I've got my mornings back. I feel less tired. I've had space to try new hobbies like ice skating. I've had more time to see friends outside of boat club. But also I love the team aspect of it, and I'm sure I will cox every now and again going forward. So if any crews in Cambridge need a substitute cox at any point in the next year, especially in summer, hit me up, I might be happy to help. What advice would you give a graduate starting their first actuarial role? I would say it's all about attitude, and that goes for any graduate job. If you're willing to learn and keen to learn, you will be fine. I find the best graduates to work with are the ones who ask lots of questions because it really does look like they're engaging with the task. Graduates who send messages and offer to help people if they've run out of work and they're at a loose end, rather than just sitting back and putting their feet up. And also just have confidence in your abilities. I think I felt as a graduate that I was useless at everything because I was comparing myself to people with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 10 years of experience. Of course they're going to know more than me. That is why they are in a more senior position to me. That is why they are delegating to me. So my advice is to relax and just put in some effort. Any plans to go back and do your masters after getting your actuarial qualification? The thought of finishing my actuarial exams and then going into a masters with exams, I honestly need a break from studying for a little while. Although, on the topic of masters, I am actually getting a masters in a couple of months' time, which might sound crazy, but Cambridge has a weird tradition where they give you a Master of Arts for nothing. 6 years after you matriculate as an undergraduate at Cambridge, you are eligible for a Master of Arts. everyone in my cohort who started at the same time as me at Cambridge will be coming back to collect their MA. We do get a graduation ceremony. I'm really quite excited about it. I think it's going to be one of the highlights of this year. In some ways, I feel like I earned it because I did work hard at uni, and the stress they put me through to get that Bachelor of Arts, I deserve the MA. Also, I know some of you are going to comment asking why am I getting an MA and why do I have a BA when I studied sciences? I don't know. Again, it's a weird Cambridge tradition. It's always been that way. I think particularly for my cohort, the MA is going to be really great because we didn't get our full cohort graduation due to COVID. Most of the cohort have since gone back post-COVID to collect their bachelor's degrees, but kind of in dribs and drabs at different times, and we never had that full graduation dinner all together, and I'm obviously going to vlog it, so you guys will be there. How do you keep up with friends from uni? I am on a Facebook Messenger group chat with everyone I lived with in my third year of uni, who probably account for the majority of people I'm still in regular contact with from uni. I think it's all about dropping people messages and making plans and not feeling embarrassed to do that, because other people want to make plans too. It's not the same as at university when I was living 2 seconds down the corridor from all of my friends, but I think the friendships mean more now that we're having to put all of this effort in to see each other and everyone's still doing it. What is the one actuarial exam study advice you'd give to a person? Past papers, past papers, past papers, past papers. To be honest with you, I'm not even sure if it's worth going through the notes. I think dive into the past papers and repeat and repeat and repeat until you're exam ready and can do it under time conditions. Any regrets over not pursuing astrophysics? I wonder how many times I've been asked this question since I finished university. I mean, we'll never know what could have been, but what I do know is that I am a lot less stressed now than when I was at uni. I associated that stress with the subject of astrophysics. Maybe that was wrong. Maybe a career in astrophysics and doing a PhD would have been less stressful than my undergraduate degree in astrophysics. But I just felt there are a lot of very clever and very passionate people who want to go into the astrophysics field, and the number of positions in that field is limited. So there's a lot of competition there. And I think anywhere where there's a lot of competition, there is going to be stress. So I don't think I have regrets over not choosing astrophysics. Is Cambridge as enjoyable as it seems to be when you live there for a job and not as a student? Good question. I'm glad that my vlogs are making it seem very exciting. I like cycling around the city and cafe hopping through all of Cambridge's independent cafes. Love going out for brunch. I love going to the shops. The shops are quite good here. I like ice skating at the Cambridge Ice Arena. I like being able to walk by the river, run by the river. I like to go to my friend's house for parties. I like to go out for meals with friends at the various restaurants Cambridge has to offer. So definitely my young professional life has been crafted by myself to be this way. And as a working adult, you don't have that college backdrop and schedule. You're not immediately part of that community. You have to be a lot more proactive about making plans and seeing friends and attending social events. And it is entirely still possible because there are a lot of people in their 20s who are working in Cambridge. There's a huge science park here, so a lot of scientists do stick around in Cambridge after graduating or even move here from abroad or from other cities in the UK. There's a lot of PhD students around here, so there's a lot of other young people my age in Cambridge for me to mix with. It just takes a little bit more effort to find them, I would say. In my mind, I do view my life as more boring now than when I was a student. I think when vlogging, I'm always conscious that there's not as much going on as it was in my student days, but I think also my student experience was a very unique experience. You take it for granted while you're there, but I think all that community and traditions, it's something very special about Cambridge that you get to experience for 3 years of your life and feel very lucky that you did. How far are you planning to go with the ice skating lessons? Haven't really thought too much into it. I mean, the dream is to be an Olympic figure skater, but I don't think that's going to happen. Apparently you reach your prime at like age 15 and it's all downhill from there, so I've started very late. I would love to be able to do jumps and spins and look really elegant on the ice, but I'm just going to keep doing it as long as I enjoy it. I started going to coffee skate sessions, which are a little bit more social, on a Friday morning. I did fall really hard on my knee a couple of days ago, so nursing that injury, but I'm not going to let it knock me back. I will be back on the ice on Tuesday. Someone has just taken my parking space outside my house. This is the beef that's going on at the moment. My neighbour is taking my parking spot. How dare they? How did you choose to work as an actuary? Was it your dream job, or did life just take you there? Plenty of videos back on my channel where I was kind of going through the phase of making that decision, but I feel a mixture of the two. I mean, it's not my dream job, but I don't actually have a dream job either, I don't think. It kind of felt like the path of least resistance at the time. I do think the career plays to my strengths, as I'm quite technically and mathematically minded. Was the switch to your new company worth it, even with the commute? Yes, 1,000 times yes. I've been at my new company for over a year now, and I am so glad I made the leap. I feel like I really was plateauing in my old job in terms of learning new things, and switching job just made me go, whoa. Doing new projects with new clients, with new challenges, it's just given me a whole lot more breadth and more strings to my bow. Also, my new company are really nice. Also, I'm being paid more, so yes, it was a very good decision from me. How and when did you manage to find your first internship? So I interned after my second year of university. That's quite a common time to do an internship, particularly if you're doing a 3-year bachelor's degree. I just looked up actuarial internships on Google, I think. Bright Network is also a site that I used and applied for things through. I probably sent in applications in January, February time and secured an internship for June. I did apply a little bit late though, and often internship application windows are November, December time for the following summer, so just be on it early over autumn, winter with getting those applications in. In the worst case, it's a practice run for applying for graduate jobs, and in the best case you could get a graduate job out of it, so highly recommend doing internships in your university summers. I think that is all the questions that I am going to answer, but thank you for sending those in. In general, I think I'm very excited about the year ahead. This is big. This could be my last few months of study ever. Thanks for sticking with me. I love you guys a lot. Also, comment below if you have any particular content you'd like to see from me this year, and I can see if I can work that into the schedule. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. Pretty please. Give the video a like and follow me on my other socials, on my Instagram, on my LinkedIn, on my TikTok, and I will see you guys soon with another video. Bye!